Cruise news. One cruise ship became trapped and in need of rescue. I'm going to get you the information on that. Also, I have news on the kickoff of this year's Alaska cruise season, and in sad news, one cruise passenger lost their life while doing some recreation at port in the Caribbean. Plus, the U.S. State Department has updated their advisory for the Bahamas with a few warnings cruisers need to be aware of. Tons going on. I'm going to get you the top cruise news updates to get you fully up to speed, and I'm going to get you the information fast. Coming up. Let's go ahead and kick things off with number one. There has been a significant water leak on the Disney Magic cruise ship. This occurred over the weekend with water leaking from the ceiling on deck number 5. Multiple passengers on board reported the incident, with one saying that it, quote, sounded like heavy rain. The water flow made its way down to decks 3 and 4 in the atrium area. This persisted for a portion of 2 days. We are now being told that the Disney Magic is fixed. It is on a 4-day sailing that will conclude in Fort Lauderdale on Friday. Next, number 2, the world's first AI-based man-overboard detection system has been installed on a cruise ship. This has been installed on an Ambassador Cruise Line's cruise ship called the 𝗵𝗵𝗃. The system is called Zoe. It provides 360-degree surveillance of the ship using sensors as well as both daylight and infrared cameras. The major difference in comparison with other systems is that in addition to alerting the bridge to an overboard incident, it continuously tracks the position of individuals until a rescue is completed. So the test will continue on this new technology. If it's effective, it's possible that this could be adopted by other cruise lines as well. Moving on to number 3, we are officially into April, which means the 2025 Alaska cruise season is about to start. With that in mind, here are the first 5 cruise ships that will venture into Alaska's frigid waters this year. The Norwegian Bliss will be the first, with its sailing that departs Seattle on April 12th. Second is the Carnival Spirit cruise ship. It departs Seattle on April 14th. Then the Norwegian Encore embarks from the Emerald City on April 20th. Fourth is the Norwegian Joy, departing Seattle on April 23rd. And fifth is the Norwegian Jade. It's about to depart on a voyage that will transit the Panama Canal, and it will arrive in Alaska on April 24th. Then number 4, the U.S. State Department has updated and reissued their travel advisory for the Bahamas. It remains at a level 2, which simply means to exercise increased caution. However, they did make some updates that cruise passengers need to be aware of. First, they reiterated that most crime occurs in Nassau and Freeport. And if you visit Nassau, they have warned that you should be alert in the over-the-hill area. The State Department says, quote, "Stay alert in the over-the-hill area in Nassau, south of Shirley Street, where gangs have killed residents." So take a look at that on the map. Here is the cruise port, and here is Shirley Street. So that is the 3rd street you would come to if walking from the cruise port. So just an FYI on that, and the State Department also provided some key notes regarding jet skis and boating to tuck away as you're considering excursions while you're in the Bahamas. The advisory states that boating is not well regulated, injuries and deaths have occurred, sexual assaults by jet ski operators have been reported, U.S. government employees are prohibited from using rentals from independent operators due to safety issues. They note some operators are not licensed or insured, and they sometimes ignore the weather forecast. So to state it briefly, if you're planning to do a watercraft excursion while you're in the Bahamas, make sure you book it with a reputable company. Okay, I have more cruise news pieces remaining, including the top headlines of the day, but now it is time for our fast mid-show check-in. In the last video, I asked if you typically purchase travel insurance for a cruise. I received input from around 7,000 of you, and here are the results. The majority, 67%, always do, 16% do sometimes, and 18% do not. Thanks for input on that, and I love the comments. Here is today's question. Kelly and I will soon be packing up for our next cruise, so the question is regarding packing. The question is, which of these 3 options best describes your typical packing for a cruise? Would it be A, you overpack, B, you typically pack the right amount, or C, you typically forget something? Chime in down below with which one best describes you. I look forward to reading that, but now on with the cruise news. Number 5, Marella Cruises has ordered their first new ships ever. British cruise line Marella currently operates 5 ships, but these were acquisitions and the fleet is starting to age. But the parent company TUI has now signed a memorandum of agreement for the building of 2 new ships that will cost more than 1 billion euros each. The new ships are expected to launch in 2031 and 2033. This is an exciting big move by Marella Cruises. Next, for those of us that fly to our cruise embarkation port, number 6, United Airlines has been approved to add Starlink internet to their fleet. United will begin adding the service in May at a rate of around 40 jets per month. The Wi-Fi will provide speeds up to 250 megabits per second. At this point, the only other US carrier that has made this upgrade is Hawaiian Airlines. This service will be free to all of their loyalty club members, and their loyalty program is free to join. Just something to keep in mind if you will be flying with United. Then sad news, number 7, a 49-year-old cruise passenger has died while snorkeling in the Cayman Islands. The man's cruise ship arrived in Grand Cayman last Thursday. He, along with a friend, went snorkeling in the vicinity of a location called Eden Rock. If you look on a map, it's only about a 5 to 10 minute walk from the cruise terminal, and they weren't alone. According to sources, there were others with them in the water at the time as well. According to the sources in the Cayman Islands, around 10:45 a.m., the man began struggling in the water. As they were able, the others that were in the water helped him back to shore, but he was in rough shape. EMS was called, and when they arrived, they attempted CPR without success. He was then taken to the hospital in Georgetown, where he was pronounced dead. Very sad, and there has been several incidents lately. Let's pray for this man's family. I have additional important news to share with you, but very quickly, if you're new here, I'm Jason with the Travel Scouts. Our aim in each video is to put together the latest cruise news and deliver it to you in such a way that you are fully up to speed and it doesn't waste your time. So if you'll be cruising, definitely consider subscribing. Let's continue with the cruise news. Number 8, a cruise ship operated by Hapag-Lloyd Cruises was trapped off the coast of Finland. The name of the ship is the 𝗕𝗄𝗃 Spirit. It is currently on a 15-day Baltic Sea voyage that began in Hamburg, Germany. But with 200 passengers on board, the ship ran into trouble this weekend as it became stuck in some serious ice. Now, the 𝗕𝗄𝗃 Spirit is made to deal with some ice. It can handle moving through 60 to 70 centimeters of ice, that's about 2 feet. However, the trouble came as the ship entered the Bothnian Bay, where it had a port call in Finland. The temperatures got down to 23 degrees Fahrenheit, and the ship found itself in ice 3 meters thick, trapped and unable to move. Now, the government of Finland has some of the best ice-breaking capabilities. They sent an advanced vessel called the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 to attempt to free the cruise ship. It was able to help some, but the Hapag-Lloyd vessel was still stuck. The Finnish government then dispatched a second icebreaker called the Polaris. It was able to get the cruise ship free and lead it to safe waters. Thankfully, no one from the 𝗕𝗄𝗃 Spirit was injured, the ship wasn't damaged, and as of yesterday, it was able to continue its voyage, so great news there. The sailing is planned to end back in Germany on Saturday. Okay, special thanks to this first group of channel members that signed up, and for everyone, you are up to date. If you want to stay up to date and be ready for your next cruise, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.